Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review with us, the British Fist. And as you can see, we're in a very, very festive mood today. As you can tell by these lovely hats we're wearing. You have a bobble. I don't. That's not fair. I want a bobble. And the Christmas tree we've got going behind us. Make sure you guys go subscribe up above to us, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this edition of Monday Night Raw down in that comment section below.
And make sure you contact us. The links in the description box below.
Yes, I'm Mr. Parkin, as you well know, and this guy sitting next to me, it's Ho 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 NJ.
What's up?
Indeed. Let's just move straight on to this show. The show after TLC, the show that is essentially beginning our Christmas couple of weeks, whatever we're going to be doing. We open up the show with the WWE champion, the champion that retained at TLC. It's CM Punk. We opened him. It was quite interesting how they opened the show, wasn't it? Because they had him on the tannoy doing the whole out of Miz and Del Rio and CM Punk. Who won the match? It's CM Punk. And I thought that was a kind of nice, unique way to open the show.
Because it was shown that CM Punk could follow on from pay-per-view. He didn't just rush straight in to make an announcement. He had the whole what happened at TLC carrying on, so I like that. And
even though we had the standard sort of Raw opening promo, at least it was a different way of opening the show. Punk comes out, he talks about being in the main event, retaining his title, and then he brings out Bryan and Ryder. And I think just after they've won their title, these are the right people you need to open the show. Because you need to establish that these guys are main players for you when they've just won titles.
Even though the two that won, we're not really the greatest fans of, apart from Bryan maybe. But again, they came out, had their time on mic after
didn't say much though, did they?
No, not really. But it got them out in the opener of Raw, so that was good.
It got people noticing them in the opening segment, you know, and then you had CM Punk talking about Philly being a pro wrestling history, ECW chants, and that no one thought that Punk and Bryan would be standing there as world champs together. This is then interrupted by no music, nothing, just Miz, Ziggler, and Del Rio standing at the entrance to the Titantron, and they come out and they try and get in the ring, but they can't. They can't get in the ring at all because the faces were dominant on this Raw, weren't they?
But the thing is, as soon as I saw Daniel Bryan and all them come out, I can barely see something that was coming in the future.
Oh.
This possible 3-on-3 match that Leonidas came out and made.
Yes, we had a kind of brawl ensuing with Bryan and Del Rio, all those guys going at it. John Laurinaitis comes out and makes a 6-man tag for the main event. The right main event for tonight, don't you think? You know, Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, all those guys in the main event.
I want to agree with it, but it's just like Daniel Bryan was like the odd sort of there. Obviously, he went in a few of the other ones, but we found out to the big show later on in the night. Yeah,
I mean, I think Daniel Bryan needed to be put in this main event spot after his Money in the Bank cash-in, personally. So all in all, I guess an effective overall opening segment. I think other guys other than Punk should have got more mic time, personally, but
Well, maybe, obviously, as they're SmackDown wrestlers, maybe it will continue on to SmackDown and get more mic time, so more out there.
I hope SmackDown opens as Daniel Bryan this week. They need to do that. We have the news that John Cena is going to be speaking out about Kane tonight. That was our main event. But firstly, we had Randy Orton versus Wade Barrett. Now, I'm looking at this match and I'm thinking, geez, we've just had to pay for this match. And now we're seeing it on free TV. But the way it played out kind of made me feel a little bit better about the way this feud was going to go.
When I saw this match being advertised, I thought, okay, maybe this is going to be the chance for Barrett to do what he should have done at the pay-per-view, and it led on to that. Yeah,
Barrett basically gets DQ'd after a thumb to the eye. 8-minute match, not a bad match. Barrett continues to beat down after the match and hits the waistland on Orton through the table. And my question is, it's great how doing this, but why did you not do this at a pay-per-view where it would mean a lot more and could be a defining victory for Wade Barrett on his, Barrett Barrage and, future main event status?
Because the way of the table matches, it does lean to either one of them winning. That could have been a right time for Barrett to get a win over Orton. But for some reason, they picked Orton to win, so I'm kind of glad that Wade Barrett got his moment on Raw.
I'm glad the feud is continuing, but couldn't they not have made Wade Barrett do this at a pay-per-view? It's a real issue, I think. Orton winning at pay-per-views this year he always wins at freaking pay-per-views. He's lost clean, 3 times? And Wade Barrett, the guy who's on a Barrett barrage, and the guy WWE pushing to the hill, can't even get a win over him at pay-per-view. But yet on Raw, he can come and he can dominate him. It's just,
Again, they missed out having done the pay-per-view, but all I can say is the way that Wade finished this, we all thought Orton's going to kick out, but Barrett kept him down, so he should have done the pay-per-view. So I'm saying well done for actually continuing the feud after TLC.
Exactly, and it was nice seeing Barrett so strong on Orton, especially after that pay-per-view loss. After this, we had our Divas match. Beth Phoenix versus Alicia Fox. Beth isn't coming out with Natalya anymore. Alicia wins in less than a minute. Beth Phoenix loses to Alicia Fox in less than a minute.
Yeah, Alicia Fox all just this silly thing on her head, but again, the match itself, I don't know. It's just I was thinking that Beth Phoenix, after her win at TLC, should be able to continue this winning streak onto Raw and defeat Alicia Fox, who is not quite in her league.
You'd have also thought the British vs. Tea Time guys would have been here, but unfortunately they're on a Christmas break. Why do they get a Christmas break and not us? This is ridiculous.
But we're more committed to you fans out there.
Yeah, we are. Fuck the British vs. Tea Time guys. Let go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Alicia gets on the mic afterwards and is wishing everyone a foxy holiday. After that match, I was just like, oh, shit diva segment once again.
Thanks, Alicia.
We then get Jinder Mahal. Whoa. Sheamus and Jinder Mahal's tag team name. Sheamus versus Jinder Mahal in what can only be described as another filler match for Sheamus to get him on Raw.
Again, when it comes to Sheamus, I thought, save it all for SmackDown, because he's a SmackDown wrestler, but having him on Raw in a pointless match, it kind of made me think, what are your plans for Sheamus between now and the Royal Rumble?
I think the plans for him are to compete in the Royal Rumble, which is why they're just involving him in filler. I think that's all they can really do with him now, especially if they want to make him win it, for example. But basically, Mahal comes out wanting his rematch, and Sheamus beats him. It's pretty much what should have happened. It went like, what, a minute or two? Jobber match.
Pretty much, that's all I have to say about it.
Then we get to our main event. A moment which I think you'll probably hold very dear in your memories going into Christmas. And an early Christmas present from Kane to NJ. We had John Cena coming out to cut a promo on Kane. He's talking about how he is ready for April 1st. Move on, John Cena. And talking about Kane being on the loose, a monster being on the loose. And he hopes that last week was no accident. And if it is, then he means business and wants Kane to meet him face to face.
At first, when he started talking about the Raw, I was thinking, it went for a little while, I was thinking, that's enough time there. Talk about what this segment's actually about. But it did flow on nicely, saying people who don't like me, which is Kane, and Kane obviously comes out.
Yeah, no, actually, before Kane comes out, we get Mark Henry.
Oh, yes.
We get Mark Henry comes out, who is injured, by the way, in case you guys didn't know. He's talking about how Cena should have been the newest member to Hall of Fame, but Kane saved him. And then we get Kane coming out, and we see this very strange sequence of events where he's kind of walking after Mark Henry, you know, acknowledging the fact that Mark Henry took him out, but then he goes into Cena. And then we get this whole sequence where where Cena beats on him, and then he beats on Cena.
That's the horrible thing. When you get to the ring, instead of letting Kane maybe get on mic, they go straight to attack
him. Kane, not that character on mic. Sorry, I don't want to see Kane on mic with that character.
But then he obviously takes out, they go outside the ring, and this way it gets interesting.
Yeah, he basically kind of suffocates him, sort of, and then he rips his t-shirt off and walks off. And it was kind of like that Rise Against Hate t-shirt, or whatever it's called, and he rips that off. And I'm thinking, why has he done that? I'm honestly thinking, why?
The way I see this is that it was interesting because he ripped this shirt in half, took it with him. I'm thinking he's more the bully side. I think he's the one who's trying to prove that he's not this, against bullying. I am the bully here. I'm here to attack you and take you out because you're all the good stuff, I'm all the bad.
So do you think this will lead to a John Cena-Kane feud?
I think it will lead to that. Obviously, John Cena's got nothing to do until the pay-per-view. He needs as much as he can, and why not go against Kane, who seems to hate you?
I'd say at least they kind of acknowledged the Kane-Henry thing, sort of, and then Kane sort of deciding that he'd rather go after the top dog, maybe, that kind of thing. I don't know.
It's definitely left us wondering what's going to happen next. We all know he's going to have to John Cena, but how is it going to play out? We'll have to see that in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, indeed, leading into Royal Rumble. We got a tag team match after this, didn't we? Usos versus Epico and Primo. Yeah, and they finally got Pyro. Woohoo! Should this have been a number one contendership match? The way it was going, you'd expect it to be maybe a number one contendership match to maybe give some early build to Royal Rumble.
To be honest, every tag match we get now is a number one contender match because we haven't got enough tag teams to actually go for the tag. So this was a number one contender. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, in the British size, this was a number one contendership match. We saw Airboom watching the match, so they had some interest in it. It seemed like a number one contendership match to me. It's nice to see the fact they're featuring the tag teams on Raw, in my opinion. Epico and Primo win with a somewhat botched backstabber, but it's again establishing Epico and Primo as a kind of dominant force, whereas Mendez as hot as usual. Oh.
Yeah, we've got the right guys winning. Because Usos, again, they've had their moments to shine in the past, even though they didn't really get bar. And now we've got this new tag team that I think, again, if the WWE get more tag teams coming in, they could all progress.
Do you actually think this will lead to a match at the pay-per-view?
Yes.
I'm hoping it does too, especially after the lack of build their last one had. I hope this one gets some build and they build some kind of feud between these two.
It will be an idea, but they haven't got enough tag teams to do anything else. So
We've got 6 weeks of build, so let's hope we get it. After this, we get an interview with my boy, Cody Rhodes, talking about how Booker T was being ridiculous and how he wants to win the Royal Rumble. Imagine this, NJ. Cody Rhodes, fulfilling my Christmas wish and winning the Royal Rumble. Oh, imagine that.
Well, Dan, I've got a present for you.
What's that?
Yeah, do you want your present?
Yeah, this imaginary present you've given me.
Yeah.
What is it?
Go Rhodes!
Oh, fuck off! I don't care. For me, Santino Marella ruined this segment. for me, Cody Rhodes was doing awesome in this interview segment, and Santino fucking ruined it. But it's set up for their match later on, or that's actually next. Rhodes versus Santino went about a minute and a half. Rhodes wins convincingly, which is what should have happened. Yeah.
Cobra! Again, he got some offensive, not enough for him to actually prove that he's going to be the winner. So Cody Rhodes picked up the win.
So we got Cody Rhodes looking strong. Sheamus winning as well. Maybe going to the Royal Rumble.
That's my big question. We've got Sheamus against Jinder and Cody against Santino. I can't see which direction them two are going to go in.
Royal Rumble, I'm thinking. Maybe another match with Booker T, who knows? But I'm thinking Royal Rumble. Filler till the Royal Rumble, basically.
They need something, but I just wish there was more direction.
Same here. I wish there was a bit less filler myself, but going into the Royal Rumble, not many storylines are going into it, so I don't know. I just don't expect too much from this show. We then have a Tribute to the Troops video package. I thought that was very well done, especially after watching the Tribute to the Troops show.
Well, I'm not really a fan of Cena, but when it comes to stuff like this, actually getting it out there, he is very good at doing it. So.
I mean, that's why he's the face of the company, isn't it? So, a very nice sort of 5-minute video package for the Tribute to the Troops. And Troops, we do salute you even here in Great Britain. We then have a video package for Zack Ryder. I'm not a Zack Ryder fan, but I kind of liked how this made him seem like a bit more of a bigger deal as a US champion. And the title does actually mean something around his waist, because he's effectively an undercard guy who's gone through all this crap to finally get to what could be the peak of his career.
Well, I sadly think, sorry Ryder fans, that he is actually going to get somewhere, and he is actually going to start making a name for himself and start becoming a US champion that others may have to look up to.
Yeah, and I don't think he'll get any more than mid-card, though, personally.
Not really, no.
We had an interview with Big Show, which was rather interesting, wasn't it? He talks about having he had the title there in his hands for the first time in 9 years, blaming himself for Daniel Bryan cashing in, and then Josh Matthews asked the question, you must have all this fire inside, burning into you. You were the shortest World Heavyweight Champion reign. And we get this sort of sign here that he could turn heel. And that's why I thought this interview was interesting. They teased it. They didn't show it, but they teased that he might turn heel. And that was nice. I did enjoy that.
Well, with Big Show finished with Mark Henry now, again, Big Show needs to go off his own direction. So if he does come a heel, who knows what will happen with him next.
Exactly. And I think Big Show as a heel, a lot better.
It would be, yes, because he should have turned face, but again, we can only see what's to come from him, because he's not going to go after Henry now.
Although Daniel Bryan doesn't stand a fucking chance against Big Show, but there we go. Main event of the evening, 6-man tag was set up in the opener. Miz, Del Rio and Ziggler versus Ryder, Bryan and CM Punk. Now, the first thing we noticed from this was Daniel Bryan's ribs really healed up quickly. It must be that gold around his waist.
Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of disappointed, because straight after pay-per-view, he's all fine, lovely jubbly, but people the other wrestlers did go for his chest. They did still make us believe he's still there. And
I liked how they made Ryder, Bryan and Punk enter from the crowd as well. Even though they didn't get much reaction because of it, as much as they would do if they came up from the Titantron, it was nice they made them come out from the crowd. I thought that was very good. It shows their interaction with the crowd. So I did enjoy that. I thought that was a very good aspect of this main event.
Indeed.
The match itself, though, was okay. It was a decent main event. It got, 13 minutes? But I think the right guy won this. That's the most important thing here. The right guy, in my opinion, got the victory on the right guy.
Well, it all added up to, the faces were dominant as well. Yeah. The heels had their moment, so it was done nicely, I think. And it came to the main two, which was Alberto Del Rio, who's got nothing going for him now, and Daniel Bryan, who's going to be progressing higher and higher now. He's the World Heavyweight Champion.
Exactly. So we can assume Miz and Punk will probably feud now. Del Rio was the guy that did the job, so it looks like he's going to be out of the WWE title picture. But I think giving the victory to Daniel Bryan, because he was the one guy that didn't get a full, clean victory at the pay-per-view, it's one thing they needed to do. On the main event of their Raw show, make Daniel Bryan get the victory with his signature maneuver. That is one thing they definitely needed to do on this show, and I'm glad they did it, and it's the right winner and the best way of doing it they could have really done.
Well, look at this. I'm still not having much faith in Daniel Bryan, but I'm glad he got a win.
Same here. He kind of needed it. Was Del Rio injured after the match?
I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, he just looked like someone was attending to him in the ring. They kind of panned away from it, but...
we'll have to see what happens next week, but whatever happened to Del Rio... He did okay in the match.
Yeah, he did fine,
yeah.
Considering he was injured. Right, question before we go on to Royal Rumble. Did we get too much Royal Rumble build out of this?
Not really. We got the mentioning in some places, but nothing hyped towards it, no.
So I will propose this to the YWC. The Slammies should have been this episode. If you're not going to hype up to the Royal Rumble as much as you can, it should have been this episode. I'm just saying. But overall, I thought the show, it didn't do too much of a pay-per-view. And apart from the opener, main event, and our main event, really wasn't that good. Really wasn't that entertaining.
No, I couldn't really find much. There was the parts I laughed at, but there was botches, wrong winners, matches that were pointless, and I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of filler there, but you can expect that going into a Royal Rumble, I guess. At least they're making the right guys look strong. which I thought was good. I just didn't feel it was the most entertaining show because you didn't have too much moving. You had, main event and everything all in one segment and not much else going on in the show. That was just my opinion on that. What were any other thoughts you got on this show?
Again, I'm glad that they had the right people following from TLC. They did that nicely, but then the rest of the show, I just didn't see any point in it or any justice in it. So overall, it's not the best Raw, but it's not the worst Raw either.
I guess when you get matches like that, you're moving on to Royal Rumble. Hopefully, it's going to be a 30-man Royal Rumble this year, and we got 6 weeks of build. I must say, heaven forbid we ever get 6 months of build to pay-per-view. We get 6 weeks of build, so we'll see what WWE can do then. But for now, I didn't expect too much pay-per-view hype from this show, just because it's the show after TLC. So I hope they do hype more for it in the coming weeks, because they kind of need to. It's a massive event for them, a Big 4 pay-per-view. So overall, I mean, the Raw wasn't very entertaining, but the stuff we did get that was meaningful was good. So I'll give it a C. Solid C.
I'll get it a C, almost C minus slipping.
Okay, fair enough. So, guys, you've heard our opinions on this edition of Monday Night Raw. I'm watching like Johnny-itis again. Make sure you get your thoughts in that comment section down below. And before NJ moves on to his outro, I just want to say, hope you guys have a very, very happy holidays from the British Fist. NJ, now do your thing.
People, do this with me. Come on now.
Come on. Tony Rhodes, mark number 1.
And all I'm going to say, people, is thank you for tuning in for this video. Hope you enjoyed Raw. Have yours in the comment section below. And that has been it from the British Fist. Have a happy Merry Christmas. And for Mr. Parkin,
I want a bobble.
And NJ, goodbye.